This is Roger smashing a $20 vase.
What's going on? Back to sleep.
And this is Roger blowing up a frackin' commercial airplane. Dude's racked up almost $500 million worth of property damage, and we ain't even started yet. So how much damage has Roger cost Langley as a whole? Well, let's find out, starting with the episode Great Space Roaster. Where the hell does a flamboyant, pansexual, gray alien like Roger come from anyway? Well, the name of his home planet is unknown, but we do know that it's super cold and has plenty of large Walmart-like mega stores. Assuming birthday celebrations are a thing we do on Earth only, poor Roger must have spent thousands of years without a party. That explains why he was so excited to have a surprise party in the episode Great Space Roaster that he literally tore up the Smith's living room in search of clues.
Oh my God, we've been robbed!
Come on out, you thieving! Hey, Lee, you were elected family gun shield at the last family meeting. I never don't want to have kindergarten cop. Roger, did you see who did this?
Yeah, I did this. I was looking for clues to where you're throwing my birthday party. Found nothing, so I took a nap.
Roger finds out his party is at the bowling alley and throws a hissy fit, so the party gets changed to a celebratory family roast. Now, Roger has no idea what roasting someone means, so he runs away from the party in tears after Francine delivers this brutal roast.
Roger, you're the most disgusting, out-of-shape piece I've ever met in my life.
And Haley exposes his weird fetish of assaulting paper.
So the checks have holes in them because Roger got drunk and raped them.
The next day, Roger pretends to not care about the roast, but everybody knows he never gives up a grudge. Like, he literally wrote death threats to Merlin Olsen for 7 years after Father Murphy was canceled. So when the family all sit down to watch the channel, it's pretty obvious who's behind this mysterious gas leak.
Nice. Is everyone okay?
Did we lose the...
It's crazy how the entire kitchen and living room just got obliterated, but somehow Klaus's fishbowl doesn't even have a single crack in it. Weird. If you haven't got with the program yet, Roger is literally trying to murder his family for roasting him when he was the one who asked to be roasted in the first place. Since the gas leak failed, he tries to commit 5 homicides again, this time with the help of a professional sniper.
Hey, does anyone have the exact time?
8:04.
Thank you, my love. Ow. My running regimen is killing my lower back. I gotta lie down. You guys can get up now! It's definitely over! You were right! Someone is trying to kill us! Let's get out of here!
After spotting Roger bitching at the attacker for missing the shot, Stan realizes his family is in deep danger and that his car no longer has any brakes on it. Roger ended up chasing the Smiths all the way to space to try and kill them, but he had a change of heart after learning how much that they truly love him. Plus, those flesh-eating scorpions he put up his ass really helped put his mind at ease. I can't believe he was actually going to use those to kill Steve. That's got to be like one of the top 10 most painful ways to die. Let's talk about windows for a second. I couldn't think of a better segue. More specifically, let's talk about Roger's weird habit of going right through them. In the episode Oratron Trail, he faked his own death and was so excited to begin a new life as a renegade that he forgot to exit the motorcycle store via the door.
Renegade!
Not cool, man.
In the beginning of the episode, Wiener of Our Discontent, we are shown some of the stuff Roger got up to after landing in Roswell in 1947. In the 90s, he was apparently a huge fan of Kurt Cobain and coffee.
Man, caffeine doesn't affect me at all.
Lastly, in the episode Brains, Brains, and Automobiles, Francine was ecstatic to finally have the house to herself when her obnoxious tree-loving daughter and constantly son left for summer camp. However, she forgot about the creature living in the attic, who is more chaotic than 100 kids combined.
Well, that sounds great, Francine, but I think you're forgetting about... The madman we hide in the attic. He requires our constant attention. Sorry, honey. No alone time for us.
Phew, I had to get out of there. It really smelled. I threw up in the shower, and it didn't go down the drain, and now the tub's overflowing, and I want some iced tea, and I know you know I want it now!
It must be hard for Klaus knowing Roger can literally destroy the house and get rewarded with iced tea. Meanwhile, he's the least tumultuous member of the family, but is still disliked for merely existing. Despite all the heinous acts Roger has committed against the family, like entering Stan's butt.
Okay if I jump in, Stan?
Yes, yes, more!
And biting off Steve's arm.
Pop!
Deep down, he really does love the Smiths. So much so that he literally teared up watching them all die on some stupid video game.
Oh, we lost Dad.
Stan's gone? Sleepover's canceled.
What? It just started.
But while Roger might secretly love his family, that doesn't mean he has any respect for their personal property. I mean, just look at what he did to Stan's study.
My study!
Roger Sana also damaged Stan's books, which are at a reading age of 8 years, might I add.
All my Nancy Drew is ruined! Now I'll never know how that ghost left footprints!
Any idea what Roger's life ambition is? Is it to open his own wig store? Become rich and famous? Well, despite being from outer space, dude ain't really shooting for the stars here. His big dream in life is actually to drive people slightly more privileged than him to various locations. That came true in the episode Virtual Insanity after he got a limo and found these drunken a-holes on the street.
That was such a hot burp. This is a service industry. Just be professional. You guys are so crazy. Oh, man. Is that your bottom? Oh, you put it right next to my face. That's so funny. Oh, you farted, too. Yeah, you guys are so much fun.
Roger may have turned the other cheek to that, pun intended, but when the jackasses have the nerve to run away without paying their $20 fare, he intends to murder every single one of them in cold blood.
You killed him!
One down.
Some coroner probably worked long and hard patching up Tad's mutilated body in time for his funeral. Unfortunately, Roger came back to say one final F you and take out his next victims. The last two guys know what's up at this point. The killer will strike when they least expect it. Nowhere is safe, even the bathroom. The final jerk is killed when Roger blows up that plane I showed you at the beginning of the video, and he's already been slapped with a $442 million fine for that catastrophe, but we'll watch it again because, I mean, it's pretty epic.
Roger, you got your revenge. Can we go home now?
I'm sorry, I got the bloodlust. Eventually I'll get bored with it.
And you probably thought Roger's insane killing spree was the craziest part of that episode, right? Well, plot A was actually even more messed up, if you can believe it.
Stan's about to use an avatar's body to take Steve's virginity? Stan, get out of there!
Everybody's got their own insecurities. Francine hates her natural hair color. Haley's boobs aren't as big as Jeff would like them to be. Steve is a pasty little four-eyed bastard. Stan is just Mr. Universe and nobody can convince him otherwise. And Roger, well, he just hates not having a nose.
There he is, Mommy, the monster.
Timmy, it's not nice to point.
But he doesn't have a nose.
He can't help it if he's deformed.
Deformed? I'm just as God made me, madam.
Back home, Roger stares at his reflection in disgust, knowing a noseless freak like him will never be the fairest of them all.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Let's see how you like it on the floor.
Steve and Haley cheer him up with a box containing latex copies of celebrity noses. Roger tries on a bunch of different famous noses before settling on Kevin Bacon's. Feeling more confident than ever, he marches straight to the park to show off his new nose to that little son of a caught him deformed. However, he ends up getting mistaken for the real Kevin Bacon and decides to milk everybody around him for free wine, free clothes, and free sports car. Singular. The real Kevin Bacon took the fall for the hit and run, while the actual perpetrator sat at home with a panini under his armpit. But at least Roger learned to love being noseless. It's a gift from God when you remember that time he served in Iraq and had to clean over 800 toilets.
Come on, get out of there! Oh man, maybe he's just going #1. He's got a magazine!
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
He also broke a military bot when he was there. Those things are pretty darn expensive. Roger is well known for taking on different personas, and his characters always have the most bizarre and unbelievable backstories. Check out Pete Pendelman of the episode Fart Break Hotel.
Pete, you've been quiet. What about your family? You married?
2 years ago, my wife was killed by a plastic surgeon in Ecuador. I found him on Yelp. I gave him 2 stars. Her breasts looked amazing during the open casket. So I was married.
Housewife life leaves Francine feeling unfulfilled in that episode, so she takes a leaf out of Roger's book by pretending to be a successful Omnislab concrete rep named Sarah Blanche.
You know, Sarah, there's a rumor that you died in a car crash.
What? Oh my, no. I was just dying to be here.
If you're like me, you were dying to get away from your family for a week.
Actually, I don't have a family. Nope. My life is all about me. Horseback riding and hang gliding, having sex with some of Chicago's many Polacks.
Francine keeps the lie going for hours, but it looks like the gig is up when she takes the stage to deliver a speech. Now, this lady might not know anything about the concrete industry, however, she does know how to be racist towards Asians.
The Chinese threat to our domestic concrete industry. There are over 1 million Chinese people in China alone. And I'm here to tell you, they are a-comin', folks. They know math, they know kung fu, and they've been going pee-pee in our Coke for years. So let's keep the yellow out of our red, white, and blue.
Francine's offensive speech earns her the most prestigious job in the concrete business, and she's due to fly to Portland in the morning to start her new life. She begins packing her suitcase, and Roger was supposed to convince her to stay. However, he saw her throw away that pink dress and could not resist using it as a cape.
Oh my God, it's working!
Francine's future self showed up and stopped her from taking the job. Let's stop, too, and see how much money Roger's outrageously insane acts of property damage have racked up so far, because I'm getting a little off track. By my calculations, the fines come in at just about $442,571,272, to be precise. To put that into perspective, Roger could literally win the Mega Millions 3 times over and still would not have enough money to pay off even half of that debt. And we're not even done. The most shocking secret about Stan's childhood is that he got by Father Roy at a Christian summer camp. Another tragic story is his father deserting him when he was 8. Poor little Stan thought he'd never be happy again. That was until he got treated like a king at Johnson's ice cream parlor, and most importantly, not.
Forget about the menu. Tonight you can have whatever you want.
Can I have a licorice burrito?
Now you're talking.
That was a magical night. I had chocolate-covered hot dogs. I had the 3rd worst diarrhea of my young life. It was the best dinner ever.
Sadly, the place randomly exploded, and Stan was left sad and alone yet again. Roger is moved to tears by the story and vows to help his friend set up his own restaurant. And since he once managed a Hardee's on Myrtle Beach before it was shut down in a drug raid, he's got some serious connections in the restaurant industry. He's really gone all out, but Stan ain't happy with the finished product.
What is this?
Your dream restaurant, Roger's Laotian Adventure.
What about my scale model?
Stan, it took quite a bit of doing, but I managed to wipe my butt with it. Look, it's time for some opening night honesty. Your ideas are terrible. I've done you a favor.
After calling Roger a son of a... The two of them leave to watch a cow give birth for some reason. When they return to the restaurant, more insults are thrown and Roger fires Stan. Stan doesn't give up though and opens a new restaurant right next door using a loan from Francine's parents. This pisses off Roger even more and he always dishes out the most brutal of roasts when he's super annoyed.
You open a restaurant? You couldn't open a French whore's legs with a wheel of cheese.
That was a very creative insult. Creativity is something that Stan lacks though because he literally names his restaurant Stan's Food Restaurant. It's an exact replica of Johnson's ice cream parlor, but nobody shows up at the grand opening and Stan is totally baffled until he steps outside. With the sign down, Stan gets his first customer and serves them AIDS-free chocolate meatballs on a pancake plate, which honestly sounds super amazing. Or am I just crazy hungry right now? Tons of people line up to try Stan's weird food, so I guess I wasn't insane after all. Roger becomes bitterly jealous of his friend's success and tries to sabotage him, but since pretending a cockroach is into salad doesn't get Stan's food restaurant shut down, he takes matters into his own hands.
What the hell?
I was in over my head financially. No one will suspect a successful restaurateur of arson, Stan, and it's spreading to mine right now. Oh yeah!
Most people despise jury duty, but Stan Smith revels in bringing scumbags to justice. In the episode of The People vs. Martin Sugar, he sent this pure evil sleazeball down for distributing millions of dollars worth of counterfeit handbags.
How could you do this to me, Stan?
Sorry, Roger. I just had to take a bite out of crime.
On the journey to the big house, Roger realizes he can make the driver lose control of the bus by making him laugh. So he cracks a few jokes and causes this catastrophic accident. Roger survives the crash and steals a cop car to escape, but as you'll probably all know by now, he's a terrible driver. Roger doesn't accept defeat that easily and steals another cop car, only to crash it again 2 seconds later. Being the icon he is, he immediately gets his nails done after fleeing the crime scene. He then attempts to leave the country, but Stan catches him at gunpoint. Roger begs to not be sent to prison, but gets away with everything anyway when cops arrest Stan for assaulting that U.S. Marshal earlier in the episode. Honestly, Stan didn't even need that rock. Like, his monstrosity of a jaw could effortlessly knock anybody out cold. And you know what? I respect that. While they aren't as bad as Peter and Lois Griffin, Stan and Francine are far from responsible parents. I mean, they literally made a psychotic alien their son's legal guardian just so they could take a kid's free vacation to the biggest water park in the universe. Roger is thrilled to become Steve's caregiver and takes his education very seriously by making sure he gets extra homework and forcing him to study until midnight. Worried that his baby's inappropriate friendship with Principal Brian will end in molestation, Roger gets the principal fired for letting students cut class. Steve still tries to weasel his way back into the teacher's lounge the very next day, but without Principal Brian around to protect him, we get the face full of hot chocolate and then beaten black and blue.
What happened to you? Who did this to my baby?
The teachers! They made a circle and they hit me!
Steve is way too scared to go back to school, but Roger took care of everything so he won't ever have to worry about those teachers ever again. I'm not sure what would be more painful, that or this accident Stan and Francine had when they tried to have sex on a water slide.
I'm coming in too hot! Move back!
What? Slow down!
Roger mistreats Steve constantly throughout the show, and ramming his tongue down the boy's throat isn't even the worst example of the abuse.
Wait for me.
In the episode I Can't Stand You, Roger deliberately causes horrific injuries to Steve just so he can scam people into giving him compensation. Some of these diabolical acts include throwing the hottest coffee in town right in the teen's face.
Oh, this cup is irresponsibly hot.
Oh, my face!
Breaking 2 of his limbs. And severing off his ear. But at least Roger has the decency to take his friend to the plastic surgeon and try and fix him up.
This wasn't properly anchored.
Roger will definitely be able to pay for that tank, especially with all that compensation he earned after pushing Steve in front of this car. The Smiths have been dying to get on Family Feud for a very long time, and in the episode 300, they finally make it to the big stage in the application process. The questionnaire they've been sent only has one question, but it's a big one. What is the funniest thing that has ever happened to your family? That's a tough question considering this family has shared millions of hilarious moments together, like that time Stan got locked in the stockades at Colonial Williamsburg.
Guys, I started a small electrical fire in ye old candlery.
Or that time they saw Seinfeld in Hawaii.
Guys, I accidentally triggered an active volcano. We gotta run!
What's the deal with all this lava?
Or how about that time they went to that super fancy underground cheese shop?
I accidentally triggered an active volcano. We gotta run!
And this was the day I was finally gonna try Gouda!
Why was there a volcano inside a cheese shop anyway? Or was the cheese shop inside the volcano? Roger has hundreds of different personas, but one of his favorites is the A-lister Samantha Kingsbury, aka the most interesting and fabulous woman in all of Langley Falls. However, in the episode The Dentist's Wife, Samantha loses her title of most fabulous woman ever to Meredith Fields.
She's even got time for the homeless.
Time? I have with the homeless.
Roger, she's married to a dentist.
Roger introduces himself to Meredith, and her amazingness renders him speechless for the rest of the day. The next morning, he rummages through his closet to find an outfit that'll beat anything Meredith owns. But nothing is cutting it. Even the outfit for the PTA rock star Mike Babcock, the cool dad every mom at school wants to sleep with. Roger will need to start from scratch, so he heads up to his secret magical persona factory, a place where all his personas are conceived using stolen electricity from the Langley General Hospital. After giving Francine a little tour, he creates his most fabulous persona ever just in time for Meredith's book club meeting.
Cecilia Takaru's the name. Born on a sleigh ride outside St. Petersburg. Closer to Tampa, actually. Or as us tampons like to call it, home of Hulk Hogan.
Cecilia gets so badly upstaged by Meredith that she vomits. Defeated, Roger realizes that all his personas are just masks to cover up the fact that he's empty inside. In a fit of rage, he grabs a blowtorch and starts burning his persona factory to the ground. However, the fire ends up destroying a little more than just his wigs. After killing thousands of people in the fire and destroying Meredith Field's life, Roger takes back all his personas, having realized that the real him is at the core of all of them. And by that, I mean they're all really selfish, and I guess sometimes really destructive, since he just committed mass property damage. Roger's body is fueled entirely by Oreos, wine, cocaine, heroin, ecstasy, crack, oxycontin, meth, steroids, cooked down Afrin, Euphoria, the fake drug from 90210, and whatever Francine's cooking. Drugs are bad, but at least they don't give Roger gas. If this alien ever tried Taco Bell, the fate of the universe would be at stake. And that's not an exaggeration. Roger's gas is literally so dangerous and lethal that he obliterated the entire Earth that time he let one rip inside one of the Hadron Colliders at Langley Quantum Labs.
I feel like I'm gonna fart.
Now, I don't know what the average global value of all that stuff would be, but going off what the median values are in the US, that's $48,401 per car, $416,900 per home, and $300 million per high-rise building. A landmark would probably average around $1 billion in value, so if we're destroying planet Earth with a fart apocalypse, Roger's debt should be at the bare minimum a grand total of 151 quintillion, 39 quadrillion, 397 trillion, 942 billion, 444 million, 346,876. This alien may be the worst villain in Langley Falls, but what about these characters? Do they make Roger look like a saint or even more evil? Well, click the screen to find out, bucko.